everyone, and how are we today? I'm not alone. I do have a fellow council member in the form of Andy, and we'll be joined very soon by Mr. Ed, who's running a little bit late at the moment.
He's coming.
He'll be with us shortly. Oh, yeah, right, there we go. Yeah. How are we, Andy?
I'm quite tired. I've been building dead hedges.
Dead hedge? What's a dead hedge? Is that as opposed to growing live hedges, you've been building dead ones?
Yes, so I've been putting material between large poles to form a sort of a habitat for birds and invertebrates and things of this nature.
Okay, fair enough.
Getting some fresh air, and it was very fresh air as well. I had my sun hat on and did not require it in the slightest because it was thinking freezing for most of the day. That was all right because we were exerting ourselves. That was fine.
Cool. Well, I've already got people in the chat. I've been working. I've been at work all day today. And we've got... He's joined us now. I think he's finished troughing. Hello, Ed. How are you? Oh, you haven't finished troughing. Well, he made himself visible to me, so I assumed he was ready to go.
Put me on. If folk don't mind me eating while I'm talking, that's fine. I get monkey.
Well, some may not, but I do. No, go for it. No slurps, though, please. No slurps. We can do without that. Oh, you know, I just hate people who are really noisy eaters and drinkers, don't you?
I don't. No.
Well, who have we got joining us tonight? We've got Patrick. Hello there. We've got Martin. We've got Josh. Congratulations, Josh, on achieving 500 subscribers. Well done, mate. Well done. Apparently, Ed's with us. Put me on. A spike, maybe. We've got Toy Slice. Hello, Dave. He's still banging on about his coconuts.
What's happened to the animation for the messages?
What animation? It's gone. It's gone.
It's snappy.
I thought that were quite good, the animation, when the messages came up.
Yes, well, we've got evidence from last week that says otherwise. Joe, hello. Did you watch that film yet? What film?
To watch film in the past, are you referring, Joe?
There's lots and lots of films out there. What film? Have we got anyone else? Oh, we've got Phil. Phil's here as well. Hello, Phil. And Dave hopes that we are all well.
Yes, we're not too bad.
The Last Jedi reference of blue milk. Okay. Fofo. I'm still no. Why is it? It's going to get to the point, Joe, where your comments and our confusion towards them are going to be the whole entertainment factor of these streams. Tim, how you doing, Tim? You okay, mate?
Evening.
It's been far too long. You need to pop in and see us sometime, don't you? You're very, very welcome, Josh. I'm really pleased for you. Keep it going. Thousands not too far away now. Sai, hello, Sai. You appreciate the stream. We haven't even started yet.
Or not.
Joe sent me on Messenger. Did you? Well, I'll take a look when we get going. The last thing I saw from you was about a Nintendo 64 group on Facebook, which... I'm in enough groups.
Many groups.
And he does need to come in. Right, Fufu. What the hell is Fufu? Dare I? Is this going to be relevant to tonight's chat, Joe? Is it?
That remains to be seen.
Fufu.
Fufu.
Joe sent an attachment, which takes me to a Club Lemon 64 group. Yeah, okay. And then prior to that, it's something to do with In the Night Garden, which I'm not watching. I'm not really interested in the Night Garden, Joe.
In the Night Garden were awesome.
Yeah. Right, okay. Moving on.
Here comes the Ninky Nong.
Oh, yes, the Ninky Nong. That was I was struggling for one of the catchphrases, yes.
So Andy's been building hedges, dead hedges.
Dead hedges.
I've actually been in work today. What have you been up to, Ed? Apart from munching.
Munching.
I've just been. What have I been doing today? I ain't got a clue. Oh, just doing a few jobs around the house, and then I took a few photos for.
Oh, right, okay.
That have appeared on Instagram.
Oh, very good. Oh, the Optimus Prime.
The Megs one, possibly.
The what?
The Megs one.
Oh yes, the
Megs one. Yeah.
The blocky thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought that was a little harsh, actually. That.
What? It's all just a bit of fun.
Comparing blockies, the perfectly reasonable toys, and you get to have fun building them. Comparing them to Funko Pops.
Yeah, it was just it were a I can't remember what it was. It was an article I was reading, last week or maybe a week before, and it were on about this the new blocky fad kind of thing, like now it's sort of like exploded, and
It is a bit big, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's all. Like it's probably going to be one of those things that'll drop off just as quickly as when it exploded. Burn out. It wasn't. I wasn't commenting on the quality of them or the enjoyment of them. Because I have two myself.
Ah, right. You were commenting on them more than being a trend.
No, it was just a bit of fun.
Oh,
it was really just a bit
Joe.
of fun.
Other Joe, flipping Joe.
Like I said, I mean, I don't mind them. They fill a gap, because it's like there's.
Right. Is that what you're talking about?
No, Walter the Softies dog was called Fifi, not Fufu. I'm pretty sure.
I think that's been lost either way, but
Oh, yeah. My mind may have wandered a little bit since 2 weeks ago, Joe.
yeah, entirely possible that it has. Yes,
Fufu is a slang term for something completely and utterly different,
which we won't go into on this stream.
Well, it's not that kind of stream.
However, if you'd like to join us after this, over on our OnlyFans.
But yeah, so no, blockies perfectly fine. The great little things, and there's much enjoyment to be had. But it's just sort of like it's just something that it's a rabbit hole I don't need to go down.
That's fair enough. Strangely enough, this isn't something that I thought. We didn't plan to discuss it tonight, but I dare say that our topics just kind of evolve naturally anyway. So, bringing up blockies like this, I think you're probably not far off hitting the nail on the head by considering them a trend, though, because they're doing that thing where, people like this. Quick, do everything.
Yeah.
Instead of taking the time and evolving their lines naturally, it's like, how many series of Transformers blockies has there been already?
Oh, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. I think there's been a lot.
Yeah, there's been an awful lot, far too many. And they do, to my knowledge, there's 3 different sizes or scales, isn't there?
Yeah, but then again, we don't know how long they've been in preparation. And,
True, but at the same time, they've also launched Saint Seiya ones.
Right.
And they've launched these Pokemon ones, and there's other ones coming out. And I'm not saying they shouldn't do it, but maybe slow down a little bit, give people a chance to buy them.
But maybe they're trying to capture the idea that they're now, so they're trying to cater to as many different tastes as they possibly can to maximise it.
Possibly. If you're going to do 7, I think they're up to about 7 series of Transformers ones that I'm aware of.
Wow.
And I think they only started coming out just before Christmas, didn't they? Was it about October time last year?
No idea. I'm not into them at all.
I'm not too sure myself, to be honest.
But I seem to think it was fairly late on last year, and there's already so many. And surely there's going to be a lot of people that would love to collect the whole line, and they're not going to be able to at the rate that they're bringing them out. And then there's the fact that they're going to run out of characters and designs to do. And let's say you get through all the Transformers ones in 18 months at this rate. What do they go on to do then?
recolours, chase figures.
They're already doing that, though. They're doing that within the series, aren't they?
But as Ed says, that implies to me that they've got a lot of designs in their back pocket to be able to do it that rapidly.
But what do they do then?
Whatever they want. There's a lot of
they'll run out of ideas.
well, there's a lot of franchises out there. Let's face it.
And yet,
I don't know what
we've talked about biscuits. We've talked about biscuits more than once, Joe.
Yes,
but
I mean, when you actually stop and think, so what have they actually done to date?
What have they done to date?
Yeah,
Lots. In fact, let's have a look.
Well, I mean, if I may, one thing that does concern me, other than almost choking, so like, is it possible to do a sort of like an internet Heimlich maneuver? Anyway, yeah. Sorry, what I say concern me. It doesn't concern me, but it's something that I'm watching with interest, but not sort of like in a wanting it to happen. But I've seen a lot of posts, and don't get me wrong, it's a fantastic thing, and I think it seems to be quite popular at the moment. But this the Transformers shop that's down in Battersea Power Station, yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, like I say, I have nothing negative to say about it, but my concern is what's the longevity of a shop like that just sells one thing? I mean, I've seen lots of videos and I've seen lots of photos of it, and it doesn't really have much variety of stuff from just the scan. I mean, like I say, I may not have seen all of it. You know, I've certainly not been myself. But it's like, you know, there's a lot of blocky stuff. You know, the majority of it seems to be blocky stuff. And there seems to be there's Robosen stuff there. They've got comics. They've got peripheral merchandising, things like T-shirts and things like that. But then there's quite a small section which are actually like mainline Transformers figures, which you'd think that they would have more of that.
Yeah.
You know, but then again, like I said, I want it to succeed because it does look really nice. You know, it's decorated well, you know, and things like that.
The thing is, I bet that the mainline Transformers figures have the smallest margin out of everything that's on those shelves.
It could be, or maybe Hasbro just don't want to support it in that way, you know, because they've got Pulse and things like that. I don't know. So, but like I say, I just wonder, you know, shops like that. What is the longevity?
Not
of
the rate they're going at.
Yeah, what's the longevity of a shop like that when it's just really selling one thing? If you know what I mean.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I suppose you can make the same argument for a Lego store.
Yeah, but I mean, I would argue.
No, because Lego it appeals on a much broader level.
Yeah, I would say
you get Star Wars buyers for Lego.
Yeah, Marvel,
DC, Disney.
But Transformers do crossovers as well, don't forget. So, you know.
Yeah, but they tend to be flash in the pan type crossovers.
Yeah.
You know, I think maybe as a destination, sort of like shop, you know, somewhere that you would go, you know, I'm not saying like a pilgrimage kind of thing, like, you know, but a destination to go visit.
Yeah.
You know, I could see the appeal on that.
I think Dave kind of like covers where my thinking is here. I don't think it's meant to be permanent.
Yeah, just temporary thing, just there. I mean, get what you can and then they're gone.
I get this sense of a pop-up shop from it.
Yeah.
But on a bigger scale, so probably it's meant to be there for a year, maybe, or 2 years.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I mean, perhaps it's a shop that may do better. You know, sort of like, you know, because I mean, I know you've got like the Hello Kitty shop in Japan. I think it's in Tokyo, yeah. Mm-hmm. But I mean, that is massive. I would say that's probably more massive than Transformers in some respect.
I was talking to someone this week, hello Flav, and he was saying that Hello Kitty, the Sanrio in general, it's the second biggest brand in the world.
Right.
In our circles, in toy circles.
Yeah.
And that's behind only Pokemon.
Right. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all, does that?
Maybe they're going for the tourist element.
Yeah. I mean, we've got a shop in the UK for Peter Rabbit.
It's exactly where you'd expect it to be as well.
It is indeed.
I mean, you know, maybe they could diversify into selling GoBots. You know, or
Well, they should do.
yeah, grandstand converters and. But yeah, so no, like I said, it's something that I fully support and I want it to succeed. But the kind of the realist in me questions the what's the longevity of something like that? You know, when it does cater to one kind of like one niche. Well, not I don't mean niche as in Transformers isn't a niche product, but just one particular brand and nothing else.
Are the Disney stores still a thing, or have they all died?
There's still some, but they've been closing down wholesale.
Yeah.
But again, I would say that Disney stores probably shut down. I wouldn't say because because there was a huge selection of stuff within the Disney store, because they've got quite a lot of franchises and a broad spectrum of.
But it wasn't anything. There wasn't much you couldn't find somewhere else.
Adam.
But, sorry, what was that, Andy?
So there wasn't much you couldn't find somewhere else though in a Disney store. I think it's fair to say.
Maybe. I mean, you get Disney Store exclusives and things like that. But yeah, I mean, but then again, I mean,
I'll be honest with you. I actually miss the Disney Store. There's, I mean, they only tended to be in very, very busy cities. Tourist cities like York and whatever else, or shopping centres.
Yeah, they had one at White Rose.
They did. And whenever we go to the shopping centres, there's not many shops that I've got an interest in going into. But I could easily spend 20 minutes, half an hour in the Disney Store.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I would always buy something, but more often than not, I would do.
Yeah. It was a.
Whereas ever since they've gone online only, I don't think I've visited the website.
Yeah. They weren't an unpleasant place to visit.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to really like. I mean, it probably is. I mean, it's a long time since I've been to Meadowhall, but when I did used to go to Meadowhall, I used to really enjoy going to the Warner Brothers store.
Yes. Yeah, I missed that. Yeah.
Could you imagine now the Warner Brothers store?
Oh.
Because the IP that they've got now. I mean, Harry Potter. Half of the shop would just be Harry Potter.
Well, yeah.
They used to have like signed animation cells from Batman the Animated Series and stuff.
Oh. But yeah, obviously you've got your Batman. You've got all your DC stuff. You've got your Harry Potter. You've got Pacific Rim. You've got Godzilla and Kong's Legendary Universe. It'd be incredible.
Yeah. But I mean, I can. I still have it. It's packed away, but I still have it. But I got a. It was the studio accurate Batman Cowl replica from Batman Returns.
Oh wow!
So that would have been what, 92? Was it? I think it was about 92.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah. Maybe I'll get that out one evening and wear it while we live stream.
That would be interesting. We should do a stream where we're all wearing a mask or a helmet of some kind.
We do it for the fancy. We do it for the Halloween fancy dress special.
Yeah, there we go, ladies and gentlemen.
There we go. You heard it here first.
It's been decided. We could have done one for April Fools.
My Iron Man one back for my son. That'd be entertaining.
That were a belter of an April Fool with that about Doctor Who going to Amazon.
Oh yes. I'm actually interested to see how Amazon TV stuff and movie stuff progresses. I mean, I know they've had a bad time of it. Hello there, Kat. How are you? I know Amazon's had a bad time of it recently. Mostly, I think the last bad thing they really did was Rings of Power, and that was mostly just because of how big it is. Hello, Buford.
But I think to be fair, they didn't help themselves by kind of changing quite a lot.
Oh no, I completely agree. I completely agree. But I don't know if they've turned that corner where they realise that it's not bringing in any extra viewers. It's actually keeping viewers that they would have had built in away.
Well, I mean, so like, Lord of the Rings. I mean, don't get me wrong. Even fans of the books took issue with the Peter Jackson movies.
Hello, Michael.
Because there was quite a lot left out of the Peter Jackson films. But to his credit, he acknowledged that he left it out, and he said, "I've left it out." He says because I couldn't make it flow. I couldn't.
It doesn't flow in the book.
No, otherwise it would just be characters walking a lot.
Yeah. But I believe they did film quite a lot of it. But the sacking of the Shire, that's not in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's done as kind of like as an alternate, well, sort of like kind of a peek in the future when Frodo's with the
Things go dark. Yes.
But yeah. So I mean, I think as we all well know, fans of franchises will always find something to moan about.
Yes.
The adaptation that's made.
No, there's no argument to that.
I mean, I'll put my hand up as well. I mean, it might be a brief segue into something else, but we talked about it before we came online, and that's the Tron Ares.
Yeah.
Having watched the trailer, it's not blowing my skirt up.
It's pixels.
Yeah.
I'd suggest it's pixels too.
Yeah, it's just the thing is with it. They're just little subtle things. It's like they've made changes to the light cycle, which I get. Maybe things develop and change on that, but it's just then little things like it's like I like to call it like the J.J. Abrams did. So instead of having circular discs, they've got that kind of like Terrahawk's outline symbol shaped disc, on his back. Maybe that's just for him. Maybe he's a different faction or something like that.
Mm.
But the other thing that. And this was one of the very, very few things that, not that I didn't like, but I was just like, I don't get that. And that was with Tron Legacy, is how Cora ended up in the real world.
Well, I don't necessarily have a massive problem with that, because if you can translate a human being from matter into code to put them into the Tron mainframe in the first place, you can just go the other way using the same hardware.
Yeah, but a human going into the grid has come from matter to energy, then it's returning to matter. Whereas Cora... Now, the only thing I can think of, really, is in between the original Tron and Tron Legacy, while Flynn was trapped there, he's maybe done something or coded something, or even Clue has coded something that enables people to cross over.
Well, they must have done something because Clue was planning to send an entire invasion force.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
So maybe that's something that will be explored in Tron Ares. Yeah.
Yes, well, it must be logically.
And the only other explanation I could think of is that perhaps the reason why Cora was able to transfer over is because she was something unique. She was one of these ISOs. Which is.
I don't think it was that though.
No.
No.
But
the interesting thing is,
has she become human? Is how long can she survive in the real world? It's just
all
like
very good questions.
And
the thing is, as well, logically, for the light cycles to be able to do what they did in the trailer, all the physics of the virtual worlds have somehow managed to duplicate themselves into the real world.
Yes.
Which seems little unlikely.
Yes.
But again, pixels.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Yeah, it's like
it's indistinguishable from magic, as someone said. And incidentally, about the Enterprise poster, it's not my original, but I used to have one. This is one I picked up more recently.
Audio, hello.
Audio.
But yeah, I think there needs to be. I mean, I think it probably will be, but there needs to be some address to that issue. Because it's like I think if they just go into the film, it's like we can do this just because.
Yeah.
It's.
It looked cool. It was clever.
Yeah.
I'll say, and I'd already discussed this with both of you, but for the benefit of the for audience, when I saw the image of the black and red bike that's the thumbnail for the trailer, I was like, oh wow. that looks effing awesome, does that? That looks absolutely gorgeous. And I was already thinking, I might be getting a model of this because this is quite tasty.
I'm
And I was
sure
like,
they'll do
it's
the Lego box.
Bonito, so maybe when I see it in context with him sat on it, I might be a little bit more. Ugh.
I mean, from what I can gather,
having seen the trailer, I was just like,
Well, but it's interesting. It might be interesting. It might be.
I mean, from what I can gather, it's not. Apparently, it's not meant to be a sequel to Tron Legacy. It's like its own standalone movie.
Oh.
From it's got to exist in the same universe, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, it's in the same universe, but it's not. But it's not. Apparently, it's not to be considered a sequel to Tron Legacy.
Yeah, I can understand it being a case of it's not following the events of Tron Legacy, but the events of Tron Legacy must have happened.
Yes. Oh, yes. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they've happened, but like I say, it's a film that's happening in that universe, but it's not a sequel to Tron Legacy. It's kind of like.
You know what I think of it as?
Pardon?
You know what I think of it as?
What?
Fast and Furious 3 Tokyo Drift.
Right. Okay.
It's happening in the same world.
Yeah.
So everything that we know has happened happens.
Yeah.
But it's not really got anything to do with what we last saw.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah,
it's a bit like a franchise reboot in a sense without rebooting.
Yeah, well, maybe that's what they're intending to do. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, I hope it does well. I hope it's a good film, but my gut tells me I think it's going to fall. I think it's going to maybe not be.
To be fair, there hasn't been a successful Tron movie yet, has there?
Well, I think Tron Legacy was successful after the fact, but then again, it's like
but financially, something that the studio would see as a success. There hasn't been one yet, I don't think.
But the original Tron must have been fantastically expensive to make at the time, presumably.
Sorry.
So I would have thought the original Tron would have been very expensive to make at the
time.
Oh
yeah, I would have thought so. Yeah.
Well, to break even. So yeah.
Martin, why doesn't that surprise me? Good film.
Tron Legacy is a good film.
It's a good film.
It is a good film.
And the video game that goes with it is a good game.
And it did have a cartoon follow up as well.
Apparently online it says it's a follow up to Tron Legacy, or maybe that's how it's being reported by certain outlets. Yeah. I can't really remember watching any Tron, says Buford.
Okay.
He doesn't like the vintage figures though, and that's what we're here to talk about, toys.
I hope
you not like Legacy. Well, get out of here.
I have.
How can you be you like Daft Punk? How can you not like Tron Legacy?
But actually, literally in it.
It's what, an hour and a half or 2 hour Daft Punk music video?
Yeah. The music for Tron Legacy is awesome. It's a really, really good soundtrack.
You know what? I don't know if I mentioned, but I picked up the other day. I got a Tron Legacy CD, and the CDs look like discs.
Yes,
very nice.
But I've got the CD. I've also got the vinyl because I'm a snob.
There you go.
There we are.
Like this special edition double disc thing. So like it's got a blue disc and an orange disc. Yeah, one like that. Yeah.
Is this a toy live stream? I thought it was Cake Council.
And I've also
the son that likes Daft Punk, not you. Your son's got taste, you haven't. I get it.
I've also got the vinyl as well.
First film.
Okay, well, we've talked about a trailer, a film that's coming out soon. How about some toys that are coming out soon? Let's see whether or not I can present these. How do I do it? Share screen. Might help if I actually have the images on screen to show as well. Oh, yeah. Window. There we go. Oh, this might actually work. Doesn't support sharing system. What? Oh, this might not work then. I'm sure I've done this before. Oh. And I've gone out of my way to get all these images for tonight as well.
There must be a way, surely.
Are you sharing it as a window or as a tab?
A window.
Can you share media at all? Does that help?
I don't know. That kind of fell flat on its ass, didn't it?
Can you?
I can't remember if you've ever done it on this from this one.
Have you got the picture open on your desktop?
Yes,
But it won't let you show it in the window.
that's correct.
Oh.
What are you trying to show?
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Ah, okay.
We can see that.
Maybe you need to zoom in a bit. Or make it
Will this
bigger.
work?
Is that Mrs. Voorhees?
How's that presenting? Is that okay? Would that be better? Would that be bigger?
That's better.
Is that all right? Yeah, there we go then. So, we got there in the end.
Can the audience see that?
I think the audience should be able to see that. Can the audience see that? Someone type yes or no.
Can you do like a Control Plus to zoom in a little bit?
I wouldn't have thought so. You're talking Windows there, aren't you?
Yeah, David says yes, we're good.
Or maybe just sort of like scroll your mouse.
Yeah, scroll the mouse wheel in.
Your mouse.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
That don't work.
It went one way, not the other.
Right, do it. It'll shrink your dink, but not enlarge.
Actually, hang on, Will. That's a bit better, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. See, look at that. Teething problems, but we're there. We're there. Right, okay, so, yes, NECA. To go along with the multitude of Jason Voorhees figures, they're finally bringing out his mummy. I don't know how many people have been clamouring for a figure of Jason's mummy, but we've got a figure of Jason's mummy, Pamela.
Okay.
Is that a good likeness? What do you guys think? That mouth seems very, very large.
I don't
I
know.
have no reference point.
It's been a lot of years since I've seen the film.
Okay.
So let me just pull up a Google image and.
But it comes with lots of cool accessories. I never had her down as an Indian. It's been a few years since I've seen it, but I don't seem to recall bows and arrows. Obviously, she did use them, but I can't remember them.
It's not a bad. I mean, it's not ideal. But
Yes,
it's
Jamie Lee Curtis TJ, that's correct. That's correct. Okay.
Okay.
Well,
yeah. I'd say it's probably a bit naff.
It's a bit naff.
It's a bit naff, yeah. But I suppose the problem that they've got with it is that they can't do like a 3D scan of the actress to do it, can they? So
No, but we're talking a company that has just released an absolutely phenomenal series of figures from Universal Monsters with Boris Karloff, Bela Lugosi, Lon Chaney, and goodness knows, all of those silver screen greats. And the likenesses are incredible.
You can't tell me they haven't got enough reference footage of her as an actress that they could do better
Exactly.
than that.
Yeah, absolutely spot on. And they've also just dropped Christopher Lee Dracula, and they've got Peter Cushing Van Helsing on the way from Hammer. They're great. They look like miniaturized versions of those actors. They're really, really good.
I mean, I'm just surmising, or it's just an idea to put there, but maybe the family of the actress hasn't allowed them to have likeness rights.
Possible, but if that was the case, I don't think they would have been able to release a figure of it at all. Look how long we had to wait for a Sigourney Weaver, Ellen Ripley, because she wouldn't allow the rights to her for a toy. So yeah, that's I do like. I mean, that's an actual shot, and that looks a bit weird, doesn't it? In fact, there's a bit of a Chinese aspect going on there.
She looks like she's from Planet of the Apes.
Okay.
Well, she does.
Okay.
Dr. Zayas has had enough of those chimps.
Yeah.
I've got to say that I do like the box art, which is the poster for the film. I like that. I think that's quite cool. And I think you guys might like these. RoboCop, Villains of Detroit.
Yeah.
These are done in a 7-inch scale so that they will scale with your NECA RoboCop figures. Now, they're not quite as well detailed.
Nice but expensive.
Are they?
Yeah.
Have you looked at how much are they? Because I've not looked at price.
I think they're 70 or 80 quid a pop. I think. Let me just double check.
They're not seriously.
Who are they from?
They're a firm I've not heard of. I think the JF
Oh, right, okay. I mean, they do look good. I can see even from a distance, so to speak, that they look realistic.
Apparently, that Jamie Lee Curtis is. Hello, Jumpy. How are you doing, sir?
Eden Jumpy.
Go away. These are more like it, apparently, says Martin.
They do look more like it, definitely.
That's like an awful lot of money to me, does that?
But how big are they?
7-inch. To go, you know the RoboCop that you bought?
I do.
They're to go. Well, they're not made by the same company, but they've been designed to go along with that.
Right, makes sense. So I think they do a Murphy, don't they, as well, in cop uniform?
They do. NECA do that, yes. Yeah. Villains of Detroit. Dead air. I can't find a price for them actually yet.
I saw something online the other day because that's why I thought. Yeah, I looked at it and I thought they're nice, but I'm like, it's a bit steep.
Okay. They've got nothing on their website yet. In fact, the goal is this some kind of Kickstarter then for them? No.
JF Toys, was it?
JFS Toys is actually. JFS Toys.
JFS Toys.
Yeah. I wonder if there's not been a price officially announced yet. But if they're 70 quid a pop, then that's ridiculous. Because I thought these were going to be cheaper than the...
Right, here we go. It was on Toy Ark. I found it. So,
all right, okay.
They're reckoning around about $60 each.
So about 50 quid each.
And then with a discounted price of $275 if you buy the entire set.
Oh, maybe not. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, they've been postponed apparently in terms of pre-orders.
You know why?
Tariffs.
Yes. 100%.
Yes. Which is the case with the Switch as well, I believe.
No, that's not being delayed. It's just the pre-ordering for it has been delayed. So as soon as they've got confirmation of what kind of prices they're going to be selling it at, it will be going out on pre-order before release.
Yeah. How many US toy companies? Now, I mean, by which I mean US owned.
That's the next one we're going to talk about. Oops.
Right. Okay.
Spoilers.
Okay.
I mean, personally, I think the best likeness out of the lot is Emil. Emil's probably the best looking, like close
that
likeness.
One. I'd agree with the head that's on the floor. I think the one that's on the neck is terrible.
No, that's Clarence Bodica. I'm talking.
Is that Clarence?
Yeah,
that's probably why I thought it was crap then.
Yeah, that's Emil.
Right. Okay.
The guy who gets melty faced.
Well, that's the same figure, isn't it?
No, well, that's Clarence Bodica. That's Emil Antonovsky.
Well, where's Clarence in that picture then?
Middle.
He's the one in the centre.
I thought that was Emil.
No, Emil's on the far right.
Oh, is it? All right, okay.
Then you've got Clarence Bodica in the middle. You've got Steve Min at the far left. Leon Nash next to Steve Min, and then it's
good knowledge.
What's his name now?
I thought Emil wore glasses.
No.
That's
Bodica's the glasses.
Okay, fair enough.
Leon Nash, Steve Min, Leon Nash, Clarence Bodica, Emil Antonovsky, and
I could have sworn when he started getting all acidy towards the end, glasses came off his face.
No.
Fair enough.
It'll come to me.
Okay, Okay, then that's the next one that we were going to talk about. Yeah, new Marvel Legend that's just been announced in the last couple of days. Spider-Man 3. So it's about, what, 20 years too late?
Joe Cox, that's it.
I don't know how many people were crying out for this one.
What is it? Oh, is it Tobey Maguire's?
Tobey Maguire's, yeah. And
Tobey
the only
Maguire,
thing I can think, and this is not... All right, okay, this is the cynicist in me. We've got the mould for this. All we have to do is make it out of black plastic and put a different head on it, and we can sell this again without much work. That's what it screams to me. Looks cool, though.
That is what Venom is. I mean, well, at least it was back in those days, you know. Especially when
the black suit was.
Especially when it was bonded to him. So it is what it is, isn't it? Just a variant suit, basically.
I think it's silly, is this? But I think what annoys me most was that we've not had a Spider-Man figure from this film in this kind of packaging.
Oh.
And they have released it on a card back as a retro style thing. But for anyone, I mean, obviously, if you're buying them to take out of the box, it's not an issue at all. But for those that collect and keep in box, you've got to display that next to a blister card. And that seems really off to me.
Did it not come in a box like that for? Is it No Way Home?
No, that's the one I'm talking about. It came on a blister card.
Oh, and the Andrew Garfield one was on a blister card as well.
Yeah.
All right, I thought they came in boxes. I didn't realise they came in cards.
Perhaps they're not old enough to be in boxes yet.
No, they are. It's just lines that they choose to put out, how they decide to market them and everything. Mario's saying, don't forget about the Jessica Fletcher figure. Yeah, that's out there now. It's now available. It's weird.
That is really bizarre. Of all the people that you're going to make an action figure of, Jessica Fletcher.
No. And apparently it did really, really well.
Yeah, well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it's pretty cool, but it's just like absolutely, totally left field, you know.
I saw a post from someone the other day. They've got their Jessica Fletcher figure and they're like, but who do I pose it with on my shelf?
What you need now is you need a same scale Thomas Magnum. You need a Thomas Magnum figure.
Columbo.
Yeah.
No, you need a Magnum because Jessica Fletcher and Magnum had crossover episodes.
Oh, fair enough. Next one that I've got to show you. I'm guessing there's nothing so far that anyone's thinking about placing an order for.
No.
Let's see if anyone's mentioned any of these yet.
No, they've just been...
They've done Ed 209. Yes, they did. They did do Ed 209. Hit that like button. Thank you very much. Yeah, I am cynical. What can I say? Martin would buy it for $1. I bet he won't buy it at full price though. Palps, hello. How are you?
Hello, Palps.
Bobby.
Can you fly, Bobby?
To be honest, RoboCop 1 is your favourite film, is it, Joe? Very good.
Good film. It's a good film.
Emo Peter.
A good film.
Toby is skint. We need Disco Peter Parker. I suppose people do have nostalgia for it. I agree. Murder, She Wrote, Jessica Fletcher, that's the one. Yeah. Magnum PI and Higgins would be good.
Yeah. With his two dogs.
Probably be in B&M, I doubt it. Nothing for me yet, says Dave. When Nick and Julie and Clary, I'm in. Don't give them ideas because his brightly coloured multitude of costumes and outfits that he wears. Yeah, they'd just keep putting them out, wouldn't they? All right, so next it's a Hot Toys figure. I'm not sure how big a market there's going to be for this one, but there we go. I think it's cool. It's different. It's nice to see him doing something a little bit different, to be honest. But
what's with the coat?
It's the concept art version of Darth Maul. So before, this is based on the artwork of what he might have looked like.
Right.
I do remember seeing these images in the Art of Episode 1 book, but I don't think it translates well to a hot toy.
It feels like a bit of a reach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A bit of a reach. But I'm sure there'll be it'll find a home with Darth Maul fans.
It looks more like Darth.
I'm quite a Darth Maul fan, but I'm not taken with this. And I quite like that. They did a 3 3/4 inch figure of this years ago, or at least very, very similar to it. Very similar. And I was all over that. But this is just, I'm not sure.
I think it's we've just been talking about detectives, and he just looks like Columbo. So
Martin thinks he looks interesting. Did I see the new Tales of the Underworld? I saw the trailer for it. As Ed would say, my skirt wasn't blown up. There aren't enough Star Wars fans to justify it. Isn't that more a Celebration exclusive? Yeah, I think it is. But what they tend to do with a lot of those exclusives is what don't sell at the day, and they make a lot. They end up going out through general release anyway. And quite often these exclusives end up being more common than the general release figures. Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm not a Hot Toys collector anyway, so I mean, it's not doing it for me. And I think even if I was a Hot Toys collector, I think it's just a bit too. It would fall out of a remit that I would, set myself. I think. I wouldn't say it's not like if you had. I mean, they may have done it. I don't know. Like if they did like a Boba Fett prototype, like in his all white armor and things like that. I could see that being a big seller. Just because it's Boba Fett.
Yeah, they've done that.
Have they done that one?
Yeah, they've done that. Of course they have. Hot toys are creepy.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's creepy.
Mine are all boxed away. I don't even have any out on display now.
But then again, if you can afford to collect Hot Toys, then what's another £200-300 on this?
Yeah.
Apparently so.
And now the next item on the agenda, the next toy to show, certainly will blow Ed's skirt up.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, I'm going to let you introduce this one because I know that you were quite keen on this, weren't you?
Yeah, I mean I'm not one for this kind of thing. I mean, I did get but I picked them up when they were on sale. The Optimus Prime and the Megatron, the translucent Prime, and I think it's the translucent purple Megatron. I picked them both up when they were on sale, and they're still in the box. I've done absolutely nothing with them.
You and me both.
So it's like it was a bit of a waste of money, really. I'm a big Iron Giant fan. I love the film. I like the book. I love translucent plastic, as people who know me will know. So yeah, I mean, this could be. I don't know if I'd go out and buy this. I think this may be one that goes on a birthday or Christmas list. Depending on what the price point is on it.
Do you want to know?
Go on, tell me. What's the price on it?
Let's have a look for you. Super 7. It's Super Cyborg, this, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Super Cyborg, yeah. I bet it's going to be a ton.
Only one?
Go on, how much?
Trying to find somewhere that's got it.
Drum roll.
Actually, maybe it's not as much as I thought. The normal coloured one, which you can take the chest off just the same, is about 70 or 80 quid.
Right.
So that's a lot less than I was expecting because the Mecha Godzilla was ridiculous.
Yeah, no. I'll pass on it then. That's too expensive for my taste. Is that?
Right.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, that translucent one as it stands there, I don't know. At a push, I'd probably pay 70. Anything over 70, I'd believe it. I don't think it's.
I just said 70 to 80.
Yeah, I thought you said for the standard version.
Yeah, but I would imagine this will be the same price.
Right.
I would have thought.
But the one. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be the next slide. The one that did catch my eye was the smaller version. Is it a 7-inch version?
Oh, is there a 7-inch version of this?
Yeah, they've done an articulated 7-inch version of the Iron Giant. It's not translucent; it's the normal colour. But with it being Super 7, I don't know how articulated it's going to be.
Okay. So I thought, have they done an Ultimates version? Is that what you mean?
Maybe it is.
Right. Okay.
I don't remember. I mean, I'm sure if you searched it, you'd soon find it. But then again, I mean, I've nothing to compare it to really because I don't have the NECA one. What is it, NECA that did it on McFarlane? Hello?
Diamond Select.
Oh, it was Diamond Select.
It was Diamond Select that did the action figure. Yeah.
Interesting.
I would like the 1,000 Toys one. You know, that's really
called Visions, Joe.
Oh, well, no, but in fairness to Joe, that Visions isn't a what if because it doesn't feature any normal. Did it do some with normal characters or known characters? Because what if takes known characters and
Well, there was a comic series many years ago called Star Wars Infinities, and that did what if Luke didn't destroy the Death Star if he missed.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And the whole thing was different. You had a white Darth Vader. Bizarre.
Right, yeah, so it's a Super 7 Iron Giant Deluxe, 7-inch.
I like it.
7-inch articulated figure, and it's $29.99.
Right, okay, that sounds good actually. That sounds like really good value.
But it just depends what the quality's like on it.
But no, I don't think. Yeah, I haven't got anything else to show you, I'm afraid. So it's back to us.
Apropos nothing, apparently Mr. Trump has now paused his tariffs.
Oh, has it? You know, I heard something about that, but I thought it was a joke.
Well, I'm purely reading off the BBC News front page. So apparently a 90-day pause at least or something for most people, but China's still getting hammered apparently. So the question were you going to come on to this?
Onto
the tariffs thing?
I'm happy to talk about it if you like.
I was just curious as to how it would affect toys from our point of view, because I mean, obviously, stuff that I get is vintage anyway a lot of the time, so that's irrelevant. But do many US toy companies actually make locally in the US? No. So they would have to import their products into the US, which would be tariffed, which would immediately make their products more expensive in the US. But if we don't have tariffs on imports from their source country, the resellers here presumably wouldn't have to pay tariffs.
I did consider this myself.
Yeah, so, but you know for a fact, if it's anything to do with Hasbro, they will price match the UK. So whatever they're charging in America, they will mirror it for over here. So if it's $59 in Hasbro over in the US, it'll be £59 here. It won't be the exchange rate, so it'll be a bit cheaper. So yeah, I mean, for someone like myself collecting third party, it's not going to affect me, because it's like. So I think it's just going to affect if you're buying stuff from the States, I would say, or if you're buying stuff.
I'm waiting to see how things actually unfold. I know people are kicking and screaming and crying, and I'll be honest, I find it quite amusing. I find it quite amusing. Obviously, most of my stuff I get from Diamond, and they get all their stuff. The UK Diamond gets all their stuff from Diamond US. So that's where most of my stuff comes from at the moment. But I also deal with a couple of European.
That's exporting, isn't it? Of course.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The tariffs aren't going to affect exporting, are they?
No. Yeah, but they receive it from China.
Exactly, that's the thing. It's the circle. So
Yeah.
if it goes,
they receive it from China and send to us. So therefore, they're paying this extra 104%.
Okay.
So we'd have to pay that as well. But all I'm thinking is like, well, why don't we just get it straight from China?
That's what I'm saying.
But I think that's what they do. I think that's ultimately the market. That's the logic of the market.
If you don't want to pay extra, don't order stuff from States.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, so I would hope that companies like Diamond UK do think to themselves, like, right, rather than getting them from Diamond US, why don't we just bring it in ourselves from China?
I don't want to get into the politics of it because it's not the platform for it.
But no, I agree.
Part of me gets it. It's like, well, people have been having a free lunch on America for so long. It's like, well, no, you're going to have to start paying your way now. It's like, so I get it. I get it in some respect. But
I'm not sure if I quite agree with 104%.
I think yeah.
What I don't understand was things like the reasoning behind the car thing. Because if you think about it, he's saying he wants to make American cars cheaper, therefore more attractive, therefore sell more by making them cheaper because you're producing them in the US. Which means you've got to build new factories, which will take a while. The new factories won't necessarily create American jobs because, hey, they use robots to make cars now, Mr. So, does that actually lift the American economy? Because if you can't produce enough metal and stuff in the US, guess what, kids? You've got to import it. Oh, look, that's really expensive. Oh, look, you can't actually make cars as cheaply in the US as you can by bringing them in, even with tariffs, from abroad. Oh. So it's like, question mark.
I don't think it's necessarily a case of making American stuff cheaper. It's a case of making the Chinese stuff more expensive. And therefore people may turn to the
He's wanting
American stuff because it's now cheaper than the Chinese.
Yeah. He's wanting to get people to buy more home-based products.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is a bad end goal.
No, it's not. No.
I think that is a brilliant end goal. Whether or not this is the right path to reach that goal is an entirely different thing. But
I think he's underestimating how much stuff made in America actually requires imports.
Yeah.
In which case, that's a losing game, isn't it? Potentially. So
it's the downside of a global market, a globalist outlook, isn't it? Because you become reliant on other nations. That's you're not self-sufficient. I mean, if you can be a self-sufficient country, then you've got it made, kind of thing. But
I mean, for example, if you take the Taiwan example, I have no idea how many chips America actually makes on American soil that it's dependent upon.
But those chips require minerals that come from overseas. I remember reading about it at the beginning of the Ukraine war. It's something ridiculous, like 60% of a certain mineral that's used in all our mobile phone, all our technology and everything.
Things like lithium.
Comes from the Ukraine.
Yeah, rare earth minerals like lithium and so on. Yeah.
Thankfully, all of the company where Martin works, thankfully, all their cloth is made in England.
Good.
Where do they get the cotton from? Because we don't have many cotton farms over here.
But probably not American necessarily.
He's probably looking for better deals for US exports too. Yeah, definitely.
But anyway, back to toys.
Back to toys. Yeah, back to toys. Or whatever we're talking about next. What was I going to talk about next? What were we going to move on to?
Articulation.
Yes. Okay, that is actually the topic of today. Yeah, this was supposed to be on screen for the last hour.
Yeah. In a feature that we like to call 5 points of articulation.
No, we're not infringing on anyone's copyright there.
So it sounds
Straight
something
out of the box with
familiar
articulation.
about that.
Oh, how's that? How cool is that? Out of the box. Yeah, this one, it occurred to me, I just sat thinking about it, and I was watching someone else's live stream or video the other day, and everyone that he was talking to, they all seemed to come back to the same thing. He was asking about what their favourite toy lines were as a child, and all of them seemed to come back to Star Wars figures. That was their number one as a child. So back in the 70s and 80s, your Star Wars action figure of this kind of size, this was the bee's knees. This was the best thing that you could get. And it's only got 5 points of articulation, as we all know.
Chewie's only got 4.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has. I thought of that. Same with the Stormtrooper. That would only have 4 as well. TIE Pilot, Attack Driver.
I think Attack Driver's head moves, isn't it? Or is it not? Is it welded?
Same as a Stormtrooper, isn't it? And a TIE Pilot.
Yeah. Stormtrooper, TIE Pilot, Snow Trooper.
It's not. I was going to say Stormtrooper, Stormtrooper. So yeah, their heads obviously don't. Anyway, moving on from turning heads. So they were considered the bee's knees, and people still think of them as the best toy line that they collected back then. But then you move to today, and 5 points of articulation just isn't enough. It's
3.
It's not good enough. We need more, and so you get bendy knees and bendy elbows. It's like, that's not good enough. We want a joint there, and we want a joint there, and we want butterfly joints, and we want this, that, and the other. And before you know it, action figures have got 40 points of articulation. I'm not exaggerating. I am not exaggerating. What, is it too much?
I think those butterfly joints, like, what was it? I think it was on the Street Fighter figures you were showing the other day. I just thought that looked daft.
Fair enough. They're considered to be quite good as well.
I'll be brief on this one. My point of view on it is that I think you get to a point where the amount of articulation is detrimental to the overall aesthetic of the figure. Yeah. So if it starts breaking up lines or making it look a bit nasty, then you've got far too much articulation on it.
No, I'd agree with that.
I personally feel that the sweet spot for articulation is probably stuff like your Black Series or your G.I. Joe. Classified. Yeah. Maybe not all, but some fig arts, SH fig arts. Because some of they vary sometimes on articulation. Some have more than others and things like that, and it kind of like makes the figure look a bit janky in places. Yeah, that's why I was saying 3.
Oh, you were referring to 3, yeah.
3. But then again, you could sort of like, could you get 20 points of articulation out of having like the fingers, individual digits being articulated and stuff?
Well, this is it. There are Spider-Man figures like that.
Yeah.
I
mean, I don't know. I mean, it's. I think probably another good way to look at it as well is that if your articulation on your figure is more than what you'd get on an actual human being, yeah, because like I've heard people, when it's like from a Transformers point of view, I'm speaking of, when they say, it doesn't have double jointed elbows or it doesn't have double jointed knees, and so like, it's like, well, I'm not being funny, but humans don't have double jointed elbows on knees, yeah. So it's
I think that's to combat, and I'm defending them here. I think that's to combat the fact that when we bend our elbows, this will compress and that'll compress, so it can squish. Yeah. Whereas a single jointed elbow, it'd only go to there before it hits itself.
Well, no, yeah,
it won't go any further, so they have to put them there, don't they?
Yeah, but there are some Transformer figures that just have one single joint that are able.
Yeah.
And same, so it's.
But I think robots are different because the robots are designed in a particular way. So they don't have to replicate human articulation.
No.
Because I mean, for me, you see, when I got this chap back in the day, he was an awesome bit of articulation because I'd never seen so many joints on anything before that. And
Bitch.
You've got one too. Yours is identical to this one.
No. I'm saying that on behalf of Ed because his is no longer that colour.
Oh.
I'm happy that Andy's is so white. I mean, it will go yellow, but
I'm happy that Andy's is so white. Want to trade?
Not if I keep it in a dark, cool place. It won't.
It will. It still will. I mean, I hope it doesn't, but it will. It'll eventually go yellow.
But the funny thing is, though, because I obviously had a quick look around as well.
How are you?
And
Back at least
2 points of articulation.
Yeah.
And yet, I still think that's a brilliant little toy. It doesn't need any more than what it's got. It just is. It just is. Which I think is great.
But you see, that's the other thing as well. These figures that have all this hyper articulation, in abundance.
We could do with Josh on right now. We'd be able to. Come on, Josh. Come on, join us. Get in there. Tell us all about this articulation. You love your articulation in your figures. I've seen those poses.
But do the majority of collectors actually utilise all that articulation?
I don't think the majority do. No.
I mean, so I would suggest really that the only people that utilise all that articulation are probably toy photographers.
Yes.
That put them in the specific pose to take the photograph. Most people that will have Black Series, Classified, Marvel Legends, will probably more than likely just have them in an A stance, like a heroic A stance. Yeah.
When it's not often that I get figures out of the box, as you know, but when I do, I tend to find I'll play around with them for a bit, and I'll find one pose that I like that figure in.
Yeah.
That's how it stays. I'll never change it, and if I do have a little mess around and I do change it, more often than not, I'll look at it and I'll be like, I prefer it the other way, and a couple of days later, I'll put it back to how I had it in the first place.
Yeah, I think I would suggest that maybe things did start changing when you had the oil crisis, late 70s. Because that's when you had Takara with the Micronauts making the smaller 3 3/4 inch scale Micronaut figures, and they had elbow, shoulder, wrist. They had the abundance articulation, which then was mirrored and copied, obviously using an O-ring. In the GI Joe figures, the smaller GI Joe figures, they had more articulation, than the Star Wars figures, which is really surprising that Star Wars figures didn't follow suit. But they stuck to the 5 points of articulation.
It was to do with the short time that they had to get them out onto market, wasn't it? That with the Star Wars thing. That's quite well documented. Is that?
But the other interesting thing about the Star Wars ones as well, though, is of course a lot of the time they were in vehicles, almost more so perhaps than you actually had them sort of scrapping with each other, or whatever, or they'd just be pew-pewing at each other from a distance.
Well, and I think the other thing as well is I don't mean this detrimentally. It'll probably come across that way, but I don't mean it this way. But I think, us kids of the 70s had better imaginations. So our figures didn't need that articulation.
And our animation styles that we were used to seeing on screen probably weren't as sophisticated either necessarily. So we didn't expect them to be able to do lifelike things.
Yeah.
I wish they could do better with animals and dinosaurs. It's a really good point, actually, is that?
Interesting.
I mean, the animals that they include with the G.I. Joe figures, they're really good. Maybe not that crocodile that comes with... is it Fiona that comes with Crocmaster? I think that's a little bit more... That's not much more than a lump of plastic.
I can't remember the name of the
wolf that comes with Snake Eyes is brilliant.
Yeah, there's a YouTube channel, and it's a chap that collects dinosaurs, and there is not real ones, obviously, but like model. But there's a company that makes articulated dinosaurs. Toys and models.
Wow.
They are really, really good. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're expensive, but they're really nice. Yeah. And it's like...
Yes, the polar bear as well, Dave, definitely. Yeah. I think Fiona, that one that comes with Crocmaster, I might be a bit disingenuous there because I think that was one of the first ones that they included, wasn't it? So it's probably... Hasbro probably saw it more as a stepping stone than what they do now, whereas they look at it as an extra figure in the box. Yeah.
But then, I mean, it comes full circle because then you had, like, say, you've got the retro figures you produce, where they've gone back to the 5 point. Well, actually, not even before that. They went back. Hasbro with Star Wars figures went back to 5 points of articulation. But
when the Force Awakens came out, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, whoa, what are you doing here? It's like, this is going back a bit, isn't it? It's like...
True. Yeah, fair enough. Maybe I'm being too kind on Hasbro then.
It's quite interesting because I didn't have time to go and fetch him, but my sort of Ace McCloud Centurions figure from the 80s, his feet don't move. So I considered him to be quite articulated because he had knees and he had
a really bad dancer.
Yes. So he did have, to my mind, quite a lot more articulation than I was used to seeing because of Star Wars. The fact that he actually had elbows and knees, obviously, was a big sort of tick up. But ironically, the newer version only really adds to that by virtue of, I think it had different hands and his feet moved a little bit, and that was the only real difference. Actually, strange, oddly. So it wasn't like it was a massive change in terms of how they used to do it. Just had a little bit more flexibility.
Well, I mean, I think one of the first. I don't know if it was the first because I can't remember, but from what I can recollect, one of the first figures that I saw that had sort of like that I had, and it was like, wow, the articulation on this would have been figures for the Black Hole.
Yes.
Because I think they picked the post, and I think they came before G.I. Joe figures, the G.I. Joe articulated figures. So up until that point, it was just Star Wars. I had some of the old Star Trek and Battlestar Galactica figures, which again were all 5 points of articulation. But then I had a few of the Black Hole ones, and they had the O-rings in them as well, if I remember rightly. So
I mean, that said, I mean, we've mentioned G.I. Joe figures with the O-rings a couple of times now, and yeah, technically they are more articulated than the Star Wars figures, the 5 points of articulation stuff, but could you pose them? Because didn't the ring literally just pull them back to shape once you let go?
You could, yeah. I mean, so like, yeah, you couldn't pose them from the waist, yeah. But obviously, you could you could put them in like a kneeling stance if you were able to sort of like have a peg, something to peg it on. You could do the elbows and the arms, and then I think a bit later on, did they call it battle swivel or something like that, where they put a swivel on the so you could pose them, albeit sort of like very kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? It's like very very basic poses. But yeah, you wouldn't be able to. I think the O-ring thing was probably a thing more for allowing them to sit in vehicles, maybe. Who knows? I don't know. Yeah, some of the Action Force that had articulation were G.I. Joe figures that they were just packaged. And
I was just thinking, actually, it's funny. The funny thing is, even if you have articulation, if like say for example you were trying to reproduce something that was in a sort of a comics panel or something, oftentimes the most dynamic stuff is when they're sort of mid-air kind of doing like a flying kick. No amount of articulation is going to help you with that one. You're going to need to stand.
Yes.
Duh.
Well, unless you can paint if you've got like a translucent paint that you can like anti-gravity paint that you can.
That said, I actually took in some stuff today, and there were a couple of Figma action figures, and there's I've not heard of them before, Sentinel or something Sentinel, and it was a Spider-Man figure from Into the Spider-Verse, and wow, that blew me away. That Spider-Man figure is absolutely phenomenal. It's there's an element to it that I was just like, oh my god, that is such a simple solution, and it's so effective, and you can bend his knee. It does have double jointed knees, but you can bend his knee so far back that literally, like, all right, okay, like, that's the front side of the knee, literally so that it goes flush. And I was really impressed with that. And what they've done is at the back of the thigh, it's ever so slightly hollowed out.
Right.
So that the lower calf, when it folds back, it goes into that little hollowed out bit. And I just thought, who stands there looking at Spider-Man from behind? You don't pause him to look at him from behind, do you? I mean, some may do it with Tom Holland's figure, but not with most of them.
Other than the gymnast, who can actually bend their legs like that?
Have you seen some of the artwork for Spider-Man?
He's very
I'm talking like, real world. Real world. I mean, obviously, up and you recently was able to bend your
ouch.
Hey, I can't bend my ankle at all.
No, not now you can't. But the point just before you got on the bus,
it's locked in a cage. Locked in a cage is that one. That's not going nowhere. But yeah, I was really impressed with it. And when the lad, the poor lad, his nephew had gotten hold of it, so he's been playing with this Spider-Man figure, and I don't blame him because it's a brilliant figure. But he's lost all of the web accessories that comes with it. You can switch out sort of like the crotch area, the waist area, and the lower torso. You can switch out for the chunkier Spider-Man that's in most of the film.
Oh, right.
Yeah, the tubbier one, which is a very clever idea. And he's lost sort of like the waist section of the chunky Spider-Man. So you can't do that now. I think he's lost one of the hands, which it comes with tons and tons and tons of hands. And he's lost the stand for it, which is where we're coming on to this. It comes with a stand. That's what made me think of it. And it's such a shame because to buy this figure online now, it's like 135 quid. And with all these accessories missing, it's obviously nowhere near that. But yeah, it did come with a stand, so you could have it in mid-air poses. That's where I was going with this.
Right, yes.
Jack Specific Sonic figures have really good attitude. Yeah, they do actually, yes. No, I agree with that. A lot of the Jack Specific stuff does. But then again, they're a company that are still making toys for kids, and they're making them to be played with. I like that.
One other thing I will add as well about articulation in modern figures as well is that I'm not over keen on the fact that there's certain manufacturers of highly articulated figures that will tell you, or fans advise you, to basically put it in warm water before you start articulating it because it could break. Yeah, and I mean, I always go back to NECA. NECA figures, have a habit of breaking, because the joints I don't feel are particularly strong on them. They're detailed and they look nice, but maybe they're not for posing and playing with. That Marty McFly. You got me that Marty McFly for Christmas.
80s friend, old 80s, old friend 80s. We did actually mention that earlier on. Welcome aboard. Hello. But yeah, some of the articulation can make them look a bit poor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Ed, you were saying?
No, I'm just saying. Yeah, I mean, a few Christmases back, he got me that Marty McFly, and that broke out of the box. You know, it's just like, you know, which is a shame. You know, that shouldn't be happening.
No, it shouldn't.
No, not at all.
Shouldn't at all.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The Mythic Legions figures that I have, they do come with a slip of paper in there saying they advise you, you know, running the joints under warm water, or, you know, maybe just slowly manipulating them to start with. But
blast with a hairdryer.
Yeah, touch wood. So far, I've not had to do that. You know, I've straight out of the box. But I mean, but I'm not being funny. That you shouldn't have to do that.
You shouldn't have to.
No, not ideally. No.
You know, because I mean, it's like, what if you get? I mean, obviously, I don't think NECA do. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but you know, what if you've got a figure like that they suggest to do that, but it's got soft goods on it? You know, you could end up breaking the figure just to get the soft goods off it, so you can put it in a bath, so you can articulate it, so you don't break it. It's like, well, you know, you're stuffed.
That's where the hairdryer comes in.
But
I'm fairly sure you don't have one.
I beg your pardon. Yeah.
There are ladies in the house that would have one.
What was I going to say? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but maybe the soft goods may not be conducive to having a hairdryer blasted on them. You know, especially if they're more, you know, synthetic fibres. It's like, you know, this long cape is now shrinking.
Well, in that case, you take it off your action figure and put it on your battle beast.
Yeah.
What's Phil referring to in his comment about a 1977?
Yeah, I was going to come back to that. The BFI apparently are going to show the original 77 cut, I'm assuming of Star Wars, at a film festival. Are they really?
Which film festival?
Good question.
Look. BFI Film Festival. Well, there was one in October.
And is this a copy that they've kept since 1977?
Presumably, this is the not so special edition.
Because it's like, if they've got like an original print of the film, I would hope that it's not deteriorated after all these years.
Imagine the state it would be in.
Oh, here we go. The festival opens with a glorious dye transfer original British release print of Star Wars, and will close with a pristine 35mm print of the original US pilot episode of Twin Peaks. 12th to 15th of June.
Interesting.
BFI South Bank and BFI IMAX.
It's the same cut from the DVD, apparently. Contemporary access to the original Star Wars cuts hasn't been readily available since the 2006 DVD release of both the 2004 editions of the film and the original.
It's the original unfaded dye transfer IB Technicolor British release print of Star Wars, apparently. Plus some Stanley Kubrick stuff as well.
There we go. Oh, it's disappeared. Where's he gone?
I don't know. Oh. 2001 A Space Odyssey as well, from the looks of it. Interesting.
I won't be going.
No, probably not.
It's a long way to go to watch a film that I've got on DVD.
Yeah. Was that the silver box packaging?
No, it's not. No.
Oh no, it's a special edition one, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah. And the thing is, it would look better on my TV at home than what it will do on their screens.
Well, they seem fairly confident about the quality of their print, clearly. So I don't know.
It'll be good on. The thing is that it wouldn't be good on IMAX.
You'll be able to see the strings.
It'd be very grainy. My brother got to see Empire Strikes Back with a live orchestra. Wow.
That'd be good. I've always meant to do one.
And seeing it like that if you ever get the chance. Interesting.
Yeah.
Phil says he needs to go. He's going to go see it. That sounds amazing, Mr. B. No pun intended, but I'll take it.
Well, I don't know if we finished with the articulation thing, but I'll
go for it if you've got something to add.
No, I'll just briefly segue into we're talking about highly articulated figures. This was a recent pickup.
Okay, yes, I've seen the pictures.
Yeah. So if you want to, if I'm not taking it out of the box now, can't be bothered. But if you want to see pictures of it or images, you can just go to my Instagram, and there's some real nice photos of Sir Elijah from Mythic Legions Necronominus with very, very nice figure, nice soft goods in it, lots of accessories, and yeah, articulation the wazoo. It will do some real nice posing.
The problem is, every time I see a picture of that one, I just see, we are the Knights of Ni, and we demand a strawberry.
Yeah, I think it's the...
Let's say we're on to this bit now then instead.
Yeah, there we go, yeah.
We're moving on.
Whoa, that's quick.
Segue!
There we go, segue. I just set it all up for you, I line it up for you, and it's done. But that's it, that's all I've got to show you. On the pickup side, that's all I've got to show you on the pickup side. I'll think of something interesting later on. You two just go and do whatever you want to do.
Andy, do you have anything to share with us?
Oddly enough, I don't, but only in the sense that there were some things. I've got a couple of items for my Trek Toys playlist.
The Mythic Legions figures came with that postcard, which I think is absolutely awesome. It's so awesome. I'm going to get a frame for that. That is going to get a frame. And that is going to be on the wall in the vault. It's brilliant, is that?
I bet it's not the first time he's shot him from behind.
Oh.
Yeah, but you see, he did. Right at the last minute, Ernie rubber ducked. And the bullet missed him.
So, do you say you've got something to show us, Andy?
Not apart from the figures I've already held up, I'm afraid. Because I've had a couple of things, but you will be seeing videos on them, and I don't want to spoil the upcoming ones. That's all.
Okay.
So I've been trying to save my pennies because I'm going to go down to the NEC on Sunday.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm sure I'll have things to display after that visit, all being well. But for more than one reason, actually, as well. But I'll have to explain that after the fact again. I'm being mysterious on purpose. Sorry, I'm not generally that cagey, but I'm just being.
Fine.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm afraid it's going to be all Star Trek all the time for a little while, I think, because what I've been picking up. I know, shocking. Yeah, because the other things I've picked up have been non-toy-esque because just because, like so the video I'm doing on Thursday, you can see what I'm doing microphone wise going forwards, that sort of thing, So that's what I've been spending my pennies on of late. So yes.
Fair enough.
Upgrades,
I haven't got loads to show myself, but I'll show what bit I've got. Here we go. I don't know if you remember last week I showed you this little guy, what's back here, which is Dimagine. Not last week, but last council. Well, I did already have on the way, and it arrived the day after, typical, the larger size figure of him.
Oh.
So he's a bit more visible, this one. That other one, I forgot to say it at the time. I thought it was going to be this big anyway, and when it came, it was this big, and I was like, it's cute though. I'll keep it. But
the old scale problem
goes perfectly with my Godzilla Bullmark miniatures.
Well, it's like
perfectly with them. So
it's like when you get something like this happening, when you just happen to get a Zoidzilla that's exactly the same size as an alien for no apparent reason, you know. It's like
so yeah, we've got Dimagine, and the first film in this trilogy. If no one's seen it, I really recommend you go out and watch it because it is a fantastic film. It's really fun. So yeah, it's a soft vinyl by Bandai, of course. I didn't mean to stick my middle finger up at you all. Honest. And I nicked this from the shop because whilst I was standing my figures back up, because they fell over in my Doctor Who cabinet, I looked, I was like, why don't I have one of those? And the more I looked, the more I realised I didn't have one. It's the original Cyberman. How could I not have the original Cyberman?
It's funny what you sometimes find is missing, though, isn't it? Until you actually see it and go, "Oh yeah."
I need that. So yeah,
Phil's
I
had
nicked
to
it
go.
from the shop, and that can now go in the cabinet next to the first Doctor, the William Hartnell Doctors, and. So it's so simple. I had this as a kid, and I played with it. And I've told you so many times that I'm not a big Transformers fan or figure man. More of a diecast fan. This lived with my diecast.
Hey.
And yes, sometimes even though it's yellow, it was Herbie.
Of course.
Yeah, and it's a little SO racer.
Is that a pullback? Yeah.
Yes, it is pullback. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's got really nice stickers on it. Now, I remember having it as a kid, but I didn't know it was an SO racer. And I've already got an SO racer, but I didn't know it was one of them. And someone put it up on one of these Facebook groups. Can you identify it for me, please? Which Transformer is this? It's not Bumblebee, I've checked. And I was like, well, I know that's not Bumblebee, but I'd love to know what it is. And straight away in the comments, someone had said, oh, it's one of the SO racers. And I was like, hey, it's an SO racer. I know what I'm looking for now. Straight to eBay I went. So yeah, I've now got one of my childhood toys back. Wouldn't it be interesting if it was actually mine?
I do sometimes wonder with these things.
But yeah, and it's that easy to transform. Love it.
So yeah, I've got one of them.
Yeah?
I don't know where it is, but I do have one.
Do you not think the profile of it is very much like Johnny Five?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny Five is alive!
I bet some of them have been sold on eBay by
Bumblebee.
People thinking they were GoBots.
Oh yeah,
GoBots, yeah.
GoBots, yeah. I was thinking it was more like a GoBot approach. That, yeah.
But I think just show it back up to the screen, Gareth. Yeah, I think doesn't it twist round?
No. Oh, well, the top section kind of has.
If the arms were out of the way, it might go all the way around.
Yeah.
There you go. That's transformed now.
Oh, is that meant to be that way around?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, because if you put it down now, it'll stand up straight.
Right, don't it tips forward?
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like it would be tipping backwards other way.
No, it stands up straight that way.
Is it?
Yeah, because there's a third wheel there which holds it straight.
Yeah.
Once you put the weight round the other side, it then tips.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure you're supposed to twist it round.
I mean, it must do that for a reason, mustn't it? So logically, that makes sense.
Oh well, either way. I always had him that way, so he's going to be that way.
Fair enough.
This is my childhood we're talking about. Don't you dare come in here try to ruin my childhood.
You do you, Gareth. That's fine. The only other thing I did pick up was that Buck Rogers Starfighter for Martin, actually. But that was you've seen those before from me, so.
Oh, old friend 8 is in Canada.
But
just got 2 UKG graded superpowers. Cool, very good. Dave's going to go to Nerd Base with some mates, so I'm sure he'll find something that he requires. And if anyone wants to go along, yeah, go with him. Very jealous we don't have many good toy shops at all where he's from. Oh, that's a shame. Open one.
Sorted.
From near Toronto he is. And he's got STIs apparently. Phil sees. Still have a Toys R Us. Oh well, come on, you've got it all. There is going to be one of the things that I show you. Does anyone like Ready Player One?
You got the figures.
The figures. That's cool.
So this is a giveaway.
Oh.
This is a giveaway. Who's interested in a set of Ready Player One action figures?
I enjoyed it as a film. I've yet to read the book, actually, I must admit.
No, don't.
Don't.
No. If you enjoyed the film, just stay with the film.
Yeah.
Listen,
It
do not
includes Parzival, Artemis,
H.
H. Is that okay? They spell it wrong. And IROC.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yes, this is going to be a giveaway.
Don't read the sequel book, Andy.
Don't read it.
No.
Who wants it? Come on, comments. Who wants it?
Yeah, if they were better articulated and to scale, then yeah, I would.
Yeah, that's cool. It's a nice set.
It is a nice set.
Well, they've got the more than 5 points of articulation. Yeah, they've got full-on swivel ball-jointed shoulders by the look of it. They've got elbow joints, heads on a ball joint, as you would expect, really. Bendy knees, and typical sort of like crotch joints, like Star Wars ones. Yeah.
I did have one other figure on me that I thought you might sort of amuse, if nothing else, in terms of articulation. Shall I show you this one?
Who's got orange lips? Hello, Sasquatch, Blue Sasquatch. Who's got orange lips? Are we talking about Gap? Hello, Gap. How are you? Dave says I can give it to him. It's the best offer I've had all day, mate. Might see you at the NEC, says Mario.
Mm.
Who's going to the NEC? Come on, everyone in the chat, let us know who's coming to the NEC.
Yeah, because I've never been before, so help!
Cosmic Toys will be there. Josh should take these Ready Player Ones to review. I think Josh did actually say that he wants them.
This has got some really odd articulation.
What is it?
They're cool, love the movie. There we are.
This is that Lego stuff that isn't really Lego.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Oh, that goes with that ship thing.
Yeah. Well, it's not that character, but it's one of the. This is the villain of the piece, but he's actually got quite interesting articulation for the time because he's got kind of Lego.
Put him on big screen.
You see, he's got sort of a.
Yeah, the peg. Yeah.
The peg, but the peg is sort of on some sort of ball joint type effect there for it to move like that.
What's next sculpt like?
And you can move at the shoulder and at the elbow, but that can all clicky rotate as well. Spinny hands. So he's got a surprising amount of, but his knee joints are bizarre because his knee joints only go the wrong way, unless I've got something wrong with it.
Can you put the legs on the other way around?
I was just thinking about that. Maybe they're supposed to be like that, and someone just had it the wrong way around. But his knees will go like that, but then they disconnect as well, so they're just pin joints as well. It's weird. But it's like an early. Do you know how they used to do the Ninjago mechs?
Yes.
It's almost that sort of approach to life, you know.
Right.
But obviously years before, it's just really odd.
Come on then, guys. If you're interested in a chance of winning this, then in the comments be typing RP1. RP1, Ready Player One.
Is that one as a number or one in words, Gareth?
One as a number because it's easier, it's quicker. Yes, I am, Mario. I will be there. I'm
you going, are you?
trading there. I'm trading there.
You're going to trade, are you? You're
I
going
am,
to
yes.
manage it? Oh, good lord.
Yeah, I'm I'm not looking forward to it, to be honest with you. But
What? How? Are you going to get trolleyed in or something?
probably, yeah. It was already booked.
Well, I remember you saying you were going to lose your table or something, so I assumed you
the
were.
stalls were booked, and it's they make you pay for them in advance. So it's 164 quid I've paid, I think. The hotel's already been booked for the night before, so we're probably running at 200 quid, just over 200 quid. And it's like, do I write it off or do I try and do this? I'm going to try and do this.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll be there.
I've got an ibis. I'm in an ibis somewhere.
You going in at High Vis?
Ibis Hotel.
Ibis. Oh, Ibis Hotel. I were at Travel Lodge. It's cheaper.
I don't know. I didn't know how much travel, but I had some discount with them, so I just thought I'd try that.
I'm going to start writing down some names here because people have started saying we've got Dave. We've got Blue Sasquatch. You're paying for shipping. I'm not paying to send it to America. Blue Sasquatch. Josh. Mr. B. And Gap did say that you look like you're in a porn room, Ed. And Dave wanted to know what a porn room is. And that's what Gap's saying. Ask Ed.
I'm quite disturbed as to what Gap's definition of porn is.
I'll allow it, pal.
Robo.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Looks like a Technic Lego peg. It is.
Yeah.
It is. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Don't you want to be with a chance of winning it, Jumpy? He'll enter Hannibal Lecter style. Okay. Can't go to the NEC.
Oh, I know what you mean.
It's on my site at work. Oh, that's a shame.
Because Hannibal Lecter got wheeled in on trolleys.
No, all these months we've been wrong, Dave. It's not premiering at all. It's Travel Lodge. You have a roller skate attachment for your book, and no, because I really would end up on my ass. Come on, RP1. There we are. Jumpy's in.
What he should have done was motorise his Dalek from the shop.
Mario's in. Yes. Yeah. Might nick my mum's scooter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's only 7 of you that want it. Bloody hell.
1, 2.
I've got I'm going to say I've got Dave, Mr. Toy Slice. I've got Blue Sasquatch. I've got Josh. I've got Mr. B. I've got Pod Racing Palps. I've got Jumpy, and I've got Mario. Is there anyone that should be on my list for this?
I wouldn't mind them, but I don't want to.
No, that doesn't work. That doesn't work, Dave. That gets you taken off the list. R.I.P. Not quite. You said you would end up on your ass. Isn't that normal? Love you too.
Gap says, "What are you giving away?" I think Gap may have missed
that.
Gap may have the shortest attention span ever.
He must have. Giving away a Ready Player One, hence RP1, Ready Player One set of 4 action figures. These are by Funko as well, by the way.
Is that a pulse rifle that one of them's using?
It's very similar to one, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very, very similar to one. If it isn't.
There's when they are at the when they go to the nightclub and they're doing the dance off and the IOs come in and
Oh yeah.
like break in, then Artemis starts using a pulse rifle.
Cool. You know what else I watched it?
Barry, hello.
And
Commenting just to enter. I love it.
Percival's gun is the gun that Apollo and Starbuck use in the original Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, he's got a blaster, right? Yeah.
A blaster, yeah.
And of course, the Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch.
Which I mean, Gap may be able to verify this one because I know he likes his old TV.
I like it.
I think they also use the same guns for the Logan's Run TV show.
It's not that kind of live stream, Gap.
But maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But
I'm sure a lot of things got reused in those days.
Yeah,
A lot of things did, yeah.
JT, hello.
They may have.
And maybe you think of Battle Beyond the Stars for some reason. I wonder if they recycle some stuff as well.
Battle Beyond the Stars, didn't they? Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, I think they did reuse quite a lot of stuff.
Mm.
Yeah, JT, you've just joined us. Where are you? Yeah, you've just joined us, JT. If you want to be in with a chance to win a Ready Player One set of 4 action figures, just type RP1 in the comment section. Well, not in the comment section, in the live chat. In the live chat.
Is that a JT that's normally just JT, or is that a different JT that I'm thinking of?
I think you're thinking of TJ.
No, I'm not. No, I'm thinking of somebody else.
I said the way that it's spelt there, JT. I'm sure that's the name of a company. I'm sure there's a company called.
Isn't JT in our chat?
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking of. That's why that's what's familiar. Yeah.
Ahoy, hoy! I'll tell you something. I will show.
Nice, Dave. Hey.
Yeah, I'll. If you want to make me big, I will show. It's not really.
It's not that kind of stream, Ed.
It's not really a figure, but I did pick up the other day. Well,
Spectrum.
No, I showed that last week. The last time, didn't I? The Spectrum. No, this is something. This is going to ensure the longevity of certain aspects of my collection. I've been going through because people will know
DC
that
deflector cases.
You what? Sorry.
DC deflector cases.
You see, you do this all the time, don't you? It's not like you just. we talked about this the other day about when people are doing show and tell, it's like in the background giving it all this, but letting people have their focus kind of thing.
Do you know what it is?
What?
This is like Christmas morning. When you get the present, you feel it and you try and guess what it is. So when you try saying something, I'm trying to guess what it is you're saying.
Yeah, but you don't have to say all, do you?
Apparently he does.
Am I right?
Yeah, I think it's some kind of ADHD, I think.
It probably is. Am I right?
You what, sorry?
Am I right?
Well, of course you're right, because you know you're right. Because I told you about it the other day.
You didn't.
It's a bit pointless now, isn't it?
Show it.
I don't know what it is. So let's see. The audience would like to see, even if he knows what it is.
What's that? What's he say?
He says, get on with it, Ed. It's only a 4-hour show.
I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, the deflector cases for my G1 collection.
Cool.
So we've got Starscream, we got Skywarp, and we got Thundercracker, and then I also picked up ones for Insecticons.
So these block UV then?
Yes, they do. Yeah, they do have UV protection. Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
And there we go. Nope, there we go. And shrapnel.
Also keeps fingerprints off them, I imagine.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like I'm going through. I've already got like Prime and Megatron and Jetfire and them lot. So my next batch is going to be the Autobot cars. they're the next batch to be to get cases for. You know, I mean, it's something I've been meaning to do for years, but like, you know, so finally got round to it now, and you know, they're cheap enough, you know, they're good quality, and it stops them from getting damaged as well.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes perfect sense. So, are they just literally kind of you just order ones for the particular transformer? You put them into a drop down or something, or
right? No, what I did was I opened it sounds like Star Trek 6: The Undiscovered Country now. I opened a dialogue with the owners of Deflector DC, and we were chatting, and I sent them the measurements that I needed for my, because obviously they don't have a standard stock, you know, for the Seekers,
right?
For the car robot, they do for the Insecticons. Their standard stock item.
Okay.
You don't have them for the Seeker jets or the cars and you know, the Autobot cars and stuff. So, and obviously the carded mini-bots as well. So I had to measure up and send them the measurements and did it under a custom order. I measured them spot on. You know, they've come back. They're a nice snug fit. They've also got, I mean, you probably can't see it, but they've got little tabs to keep the flaps straight.
Cool.
You know, so
yeah, it's great.
So yeah, just the car, the Autobot cars, my Shockwave, Devastator gift set, and that's it. I've got them all. I've got them all cased up then.
That's really interesting because you could actually do a display off the back of that, couldn't you? Because you could stack them.
Yes, you can. Yeah. I mean, because they are quite. I mean, they're not acrylic cases. Because I know you can. I didn't want to spend the money that acrylic cases cost, so I went for the cheaper option. But they are rigid and firm enough for you to be able to, you know, stack them on top of each other like that. You know, they will. You know, there's no giving them, if you will. You know, they won't buckle or like that.
No, interesting. That's interesting.
But yeah, so like I say, they've. You can get different thicknesses. You can get different UV protection levels and stuff. So
they're called deflector cases. Did you say?
Deflector DC. The British company. They're based in Plymouth, down in Devon. Support your local retailers.
Indeed.
You have some nice transformers there, says Blue.
This isn't even the tip of the iceberg, Blue.
He has more than meets the eye.
I have more.
Oh.
I have more, and I am considering selling. Not these. You can get your filthy.
I guess say, yeah.
But yeah, so that's really only thing of interest, really. That because, like I say, I've not had any pickups this week. It's the usual thing. I've got stuff on pre-orders, but the pre-orders haven't dropped yet, and nothing's really taken me fancy. You know, like ad hoc pickups. You know, like what Andy does. Bless him. Andy the Magpie. We're going to start calling you Magpie because it's like shiny.
There's a method to my madness sometimes.
Is there any other names going on here then? I don't think there is there? Ed, which courier do Deflector use now? Ordered some ages ago and they used Hermes and it put him off getting any more from them.
Oh no, it was Royal Mail. They're sent by Royal Mail.
It's Dave. Right, okay, then let's get going for this. Oh, there's no music playing this time. That's probably a good thing, to be fair. Oh, it's gone straight for winner. Oh, no.
Yes.
No.
Especially can't take it back now. Read your terms and conditions.
I set the terms and conditions. Close ads.
I've never played with this, so I've no idea, I'm afraid.
No, entries 10. Advance, add in. How'd you do it?
Yeah, you Gareth's about to have someone unsubscribe.
Ah, it's Martin. It's fine. People end up winning it anyway.
You want it on elimination, don't you? After spin. After spin, there you go. Auto remove winner after 5 seconds. Except it won't be a winner as such.
Where's the elimination thing?
I think if you do after spin, then you do auto remove winner after 5 seconds. Maybe that will cut them down.
No, not there. Sort. No, that's no. Usually it's got all my information on this saved, so I don't know why it's.
Maybe that was linked to your StreamYard account or something. This is different. I don't know.
No.
Why don't you spin it now? Just see what happens.
Yeah, it's just going straight for winner.
Yeah, but then you can do remove and you can spin it again, so we can just sort of ignore it until you're down to 1, can't we?
Yeah, but it hadn't removed jumping, it hadn't removed Martin, has it?
No, but you didn't click on remove.
Hang on, advanced.
You had a remove option there, you didn't use it.
Oh, right, okay. Hang on. Results, hide note. Where was it? Customize. After spin. Auto remove winner after.
Yeah.
There was one where it actually gave you the option for it to be elimination.
Oh. Don't seem to have it on this one.
Get rid of the launch confetti. Subdued applause. No. Appearance. That's for colours. Well, this is a boring wheel spin, isn't it, ladies and gents? Can have 1,000 people on it, apparently. Bloody hell. Maybe not. Okay.
So just spin it now.
Well, I will take. What the hell? Get rid of that. I will take Martin and jump it off because they've just been on there.
Yeah.
Right. I'll just have to do it that way, I think.
So if you spin it now, it should remove the person who wins now.
Okay.
I think.
Dave, you're not having it.
Right, suppose that. Oh, no, it hasn't. Yeah, so it's got rid of Toy Slice now, so that's right.
Okay, but yeah.
If you just keep going now, it'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
It's a workaround.
This isn't what I was hoping for. Barry. We haven't won.
Sorry, Barry, you are eliminated. Oh, Mario just out.
Oh, where's my drink? He's not got it.
Not coming to a Josh video near you.
I've got another one. I've had these for about 8 years and I can't shift the bloody things.
Never seen them before, I don't think.
No?
I don't think so.
Helps him having it. Mr. B's not having it.
Now 2 remain.
Yes, and then there were 2. Red and blue. It's a bit like a Pokemon ball, that, isn't it?
It is a bit.
That's more like a Milky Way.
Yeah. The blue car and the red car had a race. JT's not having it. He looks like he's going to Blue Sasquatch.
Blue Sasquatch.
Blue, I need your address.
Not in the comments.
Yeah, not in the comments.
Otherwise, everyone will have your address, which might be desirable.
What's everyone been saying?
Stuff and things.
I forgot Phil. Phil put RIP.
Oh, strict.
And I did say as well. I said, if you want it, I said you put RP1, didn't I?
You did.
Add Phil. Too late. We'll be right back after these technical difficulties have been restored. Kind of broke the wheel. Yes, I think I did. Too late.
It's also they didn't enter.
What? We're all winners. Yeah. You don't get this on Wheel of Fortune. No. I was so excited he dropped his phone. Is this one and done or elimination? Well, it was supposed to be elimination, so I kind of made it up as we went along. Cheesy canned applause. Oh, you could hear that then. Fair enough.
Yeah, we could hear it. Yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't put RP at 1.
He says he didn't want to enter.
Oh, does he? Oh, I ain't got that far down yet.
No, but he did say that.
Laughter. No. Oh, right, okay. Congrats, Blue. There we go.
Indeed.
What?
What?
Name and address. Yeah, Blue, do you have me on any social medias? In order to sort of like just message, drop me a message with your name and address. Or does anybody have your name and address? Well, I don't really need your name, do I? I just need your address. I came second, but I've had a nice day out. Yeah. Fair enough.
Who's only just twigged
He's
that
still watching the spin. Hey, I won! You're welcome. Yeah, find a way of sending me your address, mate, and I'll get it. I'll get it on the way. Yes. And if it's a mental price, I'll message you back and tell you how much shipping will be.
Is Blue Sasquatch UK based or US?
I believe he's US.
Oh.
Yeah, I do. I believe he's US. And if I mark it as gift, he shouldn't have to pay a tariff, should he?
Cadeau. Gift or cadeau? I don't know.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not.
I don't think you pay it on gifts. So yeah, Blue, try and find a way of getting... Do I have you on any of mine? Let's have a look. Are you on Instagram? Insta. I should really do this after the stream, but hey ho.
Monster.
Search. Blue Sasquatch. Accounts. Well, I can't find any with that profile image, so yeah, drop me a message, mate. Right, do we have anything else that we want to discuss? I think we're about done, haven't we? We've done 2 hours. I think the others have already fallen asleep. It's just that their eyes are still open. No?
I'm here.
He's on Instagram. Excellent. Well, drop me a message, Cosmic Toys, or Cosmic Toy Man, or Cosmic Toy Shop, or something like that. You'll find me. Yeah. Is that an Optimus Prime? No, it's not, is it? I thought it was an Optimus Prime mask, but it's not. It's a Mexican wrestling mask, isn't it?
Oh.
Yeah, cool.
Nacho Libre.
What was that, Ed?
Nacho Libre, is it?
That's it, that kind of thing. Time for bed, methinks. I completely agree. So, thank you, everyone. Do either of you have anything coming up this week?
Yes, I've just got a little video about wireless mic that I've got, which was hilarious. It set me down a huge rabbit hole, and I've yet to make the follow-up video to it because just one of those silly stories about why you sort of you think it should be the most straightforward thing to do until you realise you're a complete idiot, basically. So I'll share that learning experience with people in due course. But
he's Canadian. So he
interesting.
He shouldn't have the tariffs then. That's good. That's good. Yeah. Good night, Gap.
Night, Gap.
He's going to curl up on his mistress's lap now and go to sleep. Right. Good night, everyone. Ed, you've got nothing coming up, have you?
Nothing other than just photos on Instagram.
Photos on Instagram, yes. Yeah. And I've got nothing coming up because I'm boring. So, yeah. Right. Okay. Thank you for watching, everyone. We will all catch you again in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye.
Smoke making.